witness the awesome, crushing might, the Eugene S. Robinson show. It's the throat. Stomper. Sorry. Version 386. Welcome, my friends. The show that seemingly never ends. I don't know what's happening. I don't know where I am. I don't know what I'm doing. Just Robinson shortstop. Bob Riley singing it like he has every single week since 2007. On Calling of the Just. Still available from Revelation Records in Huntington Beach, California, where they shoot you to death in a nightclub, hit your car with a hammer, and run your mayor pro tem out of town. Open up a substandard restaurant that will never be fail in Central Florida. Songs for intro, all of nothing. Listen well. And I know it's early for some of you, and it's a Tuesday, but what can I do? Listen. I'm going to do some housekeeping until the show starts. Well, it's actually starting. People are texting me now. Hold on. Marty G. I love this song. And now I know Bob Riley has paid attention. It took only 30 years for him to figure this out, right? Here we go. I'm on my way back nowhere. But I could not see so clear. Now I'm taking a real good look at you. Now I'm taking a real good look at your face. Okay, payback for always nothing. All right, cut the music. There we go. Anyway, meine Freunde, here we are. I think it's 386. I lose count. It's funny how that short-term memory works. Like I'll write it, V.386. Usually traditionally it's been the case. Yeah, the oopsie does suck. It's been the case that when I write it and look at it, it's like ironclad in my brain, but not always. But let's catch you up. My voice is thrashed, and you know why. Let me first explain. Well, let's get the commercials out of the way because we're coming up on November 1st. As you know, I gotta cut June some scratch on June 1st. On November the 1st of every month, bills got to be paid. So if you send me money at CashApp, if you want to do it Venmo, if you want to do it PayPal, they don't really have any of those here in Spain. So, but it doesn't matter. I still got my American stuff. The one in Spain is called Bizum. Somebody asked me, "Do you do Bizum?" I was like, man, my Spanish is not that bad. I have no fucking idea what you're talking about. So let pony up if you can. Some of you already do. When you subscribe to Substack, it comes automatically. That's fine. But, it's kind of ridiculous for me to be footing the bill all myself. You got that, right? So chip in if you can. It's all appreciated. Even if you say, well, I can only give you 50 cents, Eugene. You know what? I take 50 cents. I'm still that guy that stops and picks up pennies. So don't find the penny, pick it up, man. All day you'll have good luck. I'm not too proud for that stuff. So give it. But first of all, let's go back. So usually I say I do these shows from all over, and I have. I've done the shows from Brussels. I've done the shows from Paris. I've done the shows from Lyon. I've done the Riverside of Lyon. I've done them all over. But usually it's just a question of time. What happened is we played a show in Montpellier, which is like a beach, like the south of France. And the show the next day was in Bologna, which is like the north of Italy. So we literally had to play, sell merch, and I leave that merchandise table open till that last person leaves the crowd leaves the club because I need the money. And then we drove all night. And of course, I'm too paranoid to sleep when anybody else is driving because I don't want to wake up next to Buddy Holly, right? So or Cliff Burton, if that's more to your liking. So I'm awake all night. Get to Bologna, check into the hotel first, get early check in. So it's like 11:30 when we get there finally, and they're like the other rest of the band is like, I'm going to sleep. You should take a nap. I go to take a nap. I remember, oh my God, I got to write this Substack because I played the last show in France and I wasn't murdered. So I was going to write it before, but then I don't want to jinx it. Like, I don't want to write it when one show left in France and then I got killed the second show in France. I don't want to do that. So I waited. So I'm writing, but I'm so fucking tired, bro. I'm sitting there and I'm writing, and it's like, they get warm, cottony feel when you either take heroin or you pass out from drug drive, any of those things. Yeah. So it took me 5 hours to write a fucking Substack. Not because I was writing for 5 hours, but because I kept falling asleep and waking up and falling asleep and waking up. Then I had to delete all the like all the gibberish that your sleeping body when you fall asleep on the keys. Finally, I got it done at like 5:05. I said, well, I can't fucking go to sleep now. I got to go over and do sound check, take a shower, get over, do sound check, play the show, get to sleep that night. I could have done the show when I got back to the hotel, but I was like, there's a strong, strong possibility that I might just say fucking crazy shit, and I wanted to be semi-focused for it. So from me to you, this is the sacrifice I made. So there was no show, and then I had to drive all the way from Bologna to Milan, where I did a walking tour. No, not really. I did a tour of Mussolini's where he ended. The dude who plays guitar in Buñuel, his mother was 9 years old when they got Mussolini and watched from the apartment across the street. Now it's a building. Her apartment was there, and then there's a building where they actually killed Mussolini. And then like some old lady whose son had been killed by Mussolini ran up to the body and shot him 5 times, and people screaming and cheering like it was a party. But it was pretty clear that his corpse was going to be desiccated. Mussolini's corpse was going to get desiccated. So that's when they decided to move him about 100 yards into this square that's still there. I just drove by it. It's now like a traffic circle. And his mom watched this whole thing from the apartment building that's also still there. His mom who just died. And they decided to string him up there so that the body could be on display and it was less likely to be just mashed into dust by all of the wonderful Italians who were showing their appreciation to a fascist non-Nazi dictator. Take a drink. So, got back to Milan. And of course, I wasn't going to do the show from the guitar player's house because, you sitting talking and they were nice enough to feed. Then got to the airport and then got back. And believe me, if you take EasyJet from Italy to Spain, you have this collision. There were no lines. There was crying. There were people screaming on their cell phones, like the developer. If I'm telling you now, you think, oh, Eugene, these are just broadly drawn caricatures. You're fucking. You had to. I was saying, please, God, please let somebody show up with a live chicken. Please, please, please. This would make it so perfect. 82-year-old women are giving me the look like, yeah. I mean, it was absolutely fucking fantastic. And then the guy lands a plane. It was the softest, most delicate landing ever. So I get back into Malaga, and then I get they don't have Uber. Well, they do have Uber here, but I won't take Uber. They have a company called Bolt. So their cars look like cop cars. And so I take Bolt to the house, and then I have the same conversation I always have every time they pull up to the house. The guy goes, "Are you famous?" And I go, "It's not my house. I'm here visiting. I'm here visiting." No, man. After Pop Smoke got popped, I'm like, nah, bro. Nah. I'm not gonna get popped. Speaking of popped, so this was a tour after after the occurrence of a threat against my life by a guy named Mark Moke, a Frenchman from the Sorbonne who got his PhD in aesthetics. who took umbrage at my Charlie Kirk piece, which was the easiest and most nice Charlie Kirk piece that you were ever going to get by somebody who absolutely dislikes Charlie Kirk. Also, Charlie Kirk is not dead. Don't fucking fall for that shit. At first, I kind of wrote that conspiracy thing as kind of a lark, and over the course of time, it's hardened. It's hard, paving over the death site. There being no autopsy. There was no funeral to speak of that they showed. I got a lot of nah. I'm not buying it. Not buying it at all. But anyway, so he took umbrage, injected himself into fucking U.S. politics with an American in a way that was completely pointless, and then made the severe tactical fucking error of threatening my life. Listen, if you watch Hellraiser. I can't remember which Hellraisers. I think number 8. And the guy says, "You go looking for the engineer. Engineer comes looking for you." So all the guys who I trained with over there, Moroccan, Algerian gangsters, I was like, "You got to find this guy for me. Go to his gallery and put a bug in his ear. Like, he needs to know this is no fucking punk bitch singer for some band. You need to know we're going to talk." And so I decided to do some due diligence, which is to let the promoters know that this is what's going on. Right. Like, you need to, after Bataclan, where 137 people were shot to death in a fucking club, don't be showing up with some guy in a fucking tight t-shirt, half-ass checking IDs at the door. You need to know there's going to be a killing in your club. Because I'm not rolling around unarmed. And it's, Europe, they don't have guns. They don't, do they? Okie dokie, Smokey. So, and I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about me. Whether I kill him or he kills me, evening is gonna, the evening is gonna be fucked up, right? I mean, listen, the time before last, when my last band played Portland, a guy had a fucking heart attack in the audience right before we played. You don't think that was a fucking crowd killer? It was. It was fucking very definitely that. Yeah. So yeah, I'm there to play shows. I'm not there to murder somebody. But if it happened, it was going to happen. So I thought I kind of mentioned it to the bass player, who's a French guy himself. He took it seriously after, again, Bataclan, everybody, or Charlie Hebdo. They take that shit seriously. Now, I guess maybe it would have been different if I had said some anti-Arabic thing or had offended Islam. Maybe I would run a greater risk. But this is some fuck who's making some statement. Look, Sarkozy is in prison. In prison. One of my dudes who over there who actually has friends in prison said they had something ready for Sarkozy when they brought him in. They decided to not let him sleep that night. Yeah, what a show. Yeah. So they just screamed his name all night. Yeah. And I was like, he didn't get any sleep. He was exhausted after his first day in prison. I go, as prison goes, bro, he should be happy. That's all that happened to him the first night, So anyway, I show up at the club, the venue, we go to the hotel, we do something. This is the first show in France, was in Cannes. And I go back to the hotel and they're fucking bracing everybody. They brace the entire band of Buñuel, which I was like, oh shit, these guys are serious. And I'm thinking, fuck, I got my bag with me. I got to go back to the car. But they see me and they usher me in. So clearly they're up to speed on exactly what the fuck is going on. Didn't search my bag, thank God. Gets me in. They, searched all the guys from Buñuel. Like, oh, no, they're okay. They're with me. So they had, not only did they have guards, bulletproof vests, knife-proof vests on at front, they also had undercover guys in the crowd. And I know this because I know my fucking crowd, right? They usually... So anyway, this is 386. It's later than usual. I'm sorry about that. If you're just getting in now, I shit on Asp and all. I shit on the bald one, the Uzi, anal rapist Connor McNuggets. I shit on Mark Moak, the calorie challenge Frenchman who threatened my life. I gave an update. I have to go in this week to there we pull my tooth out. I gotta take the stitches out. My thoughts on Guar the band, you will be able to read those in the back page, last page of the next issue of Decibel. I just turned in the piece 6 days ago. And Dave Brocky, the founder of Guar, was a friend of mine who is missed. So that might give you a sense of where I'm going with the Guar piece. We talked about November 1st coming, and as well as being the time when you got to pay June. So y'all got to pay me so I can pay June. You never heard my take on Guar the band because it's coming up. The new issue, the next issue of Decibel should be November 7th. I'm in Berlin. I'm doing a book show in Berlin. Jack Grisham from TSOL did one at the same venue this last week, and I'll be there next week. If you know people in Berlin, send them by. Put it up on the Facebook thing, and I think I actually tweeted it out as well. If you're interested, book shows now at this point. I don't do any meetings, but the book shows at this point are like it's essentially show Stomper live. But we got into a groove. Saturday, we'll see y'all for If the Shoes Fit. And this next coming Sunday, we'll be back on schedule for the show Stomper. So, November 1st is when people wake up and smell the fucking coffee in America to a certain degree. So, what else? Do you have anything else here? No, I still got about 10 boxes of shit in the garage that need to be unpacked. I got stairs in this house, and they're treacherous, and my leg is still gimped enough, so I'm getting nervous carrying. That's why I'm slow walking. But anyway, I'm back to train jiu-jitsu not tomorrow, because I still want to leave some time. I'm beat from these shows, but I'll go in on Thursday, and then take the kid tomorrow. Her first jiu-jitsu class. She's already been in judo now, but jiu-jitsu is a necessary part of it. She's a loudmouth that can teach me how to defend herself. So anyway, TM went to one, and Transcendental Meditation. It's good to see him there. He carries a show for us. And it is. It's like a show live. It's actually a show if you're there. Right? Seriously, now, she was so excited that she slept like shit. So when I finally woke up at like 8 o'clock, she was like, I was tired. She was up at midnight, up at 5 in the morning. It was like Christmas. And she's got some teeth coming in. Before I got the bars, her teeth coming in. So that's an exciting time for me. Anyway, she goes to her first jiu-jitsu class here tomorrow, so I'm excited about that. And then I go on Thursday, and I'm back at it again Thursday. And I'm back at it in a serious way because I got to start now. I've now just figured out how to combine it with weightlifting so that I only double up one bit. Tricky, but not impossible. So anyway, that's the end of the show. The screen with my voice is over flashed out. We go. No, 2.5 is too young. 2.5 is too young. I didn't start Cora in jiu-jitsu until she was about 4. She could process it. I took her there when I was there, but to get used to the place, it's like play time, and there was no Mr. Will's dad, because Will's dad hangs out, hang out there, with big kids there, so it's a very comfortable place, and all my kids walk with the gyms. Hey, can I train? It's just like, anyway, see you next week, Saturday. Try not to run into any old Frenchmen and stay alive. How was your baby dough? Don't die.
Thanks for joining us this week for yet another episode of the Show Stomper podcast, featuring your host, Eugene S. Robinson. Be sure to follow Eugene's weekly newsletter, which is a soaring hit at eugenesrobinson.substack.com. If you're still on Twitter, he's at Eugene S. Robinson. While you're at it, follow him on Insta at Mr. Sleep 3. That's the number 3. For more episodes of the show that seemingly never ends, go to showstomper.substack.com and become a subscriber today. Eventually, it will house all the Knuckle Up archives we can locate. We already have all the jujitsu breakdowns for free. Check out Eugene on the Bad Boss Brief podcast every other Wednesday morning, as well as the If the Shoes Fit podcast. Pick up his memoir, A Walk Across Dirty Water and Straight into Murderer's Row today, and be sure to leave him a much appreciated honest Amazon review. Hey, are you still there? I'm here too. This is me, June M. Williams, Eugene's producer. The Show Stomper has been produced by Original Designs, owned and operated by me, June M. Williams. I provide Eugene with videography, original show graphics, motion graphics, show logos, podcast syndication, social media, and more. I can be reached at orijunels@gmail.com, spelled ORIJUNELS @gmail.com.